my god, it's so fucking dark. Whatever. Good morning, loves. It's Timidity. I'm out here rocking the beret and no wig for today. But then again, I don't think you've ever really seen me actually do a vlog with any hair on. So, I mean, you don't have to worry a single bit. Anyway, what I'm doing today is I'm gonna talk to you a little bit before I start doing some screenwriting. Or storyboarding, whatever the fuck. I'll just say a little bit about myself. One, I love concept art, making it. You know, whenever I think of a new film idea, I like to write about it, brainstorm it, whatever. Then I love to paint it. Then I love to also, you know, sketch it, paint it, create concept art for it. Like, what's the scenery going to be like? What are the things they're going to talk about? I should put attention to detail in every single aspect. Then I think, if I were this character, what would I say? And from that perspective, since a big thing for me is that I want people to understand each other's perspectives a lot. So I have a fascination with dialogue because I feel like through dialogue is a great way to make characters come to life. So if it's a scene where you're just trying to seem edgy or cool, but then it's like, oh, no real person would talk like this, then that's not cool. But if it's like, oh yeah, you, the person watching this movie, you can figure you'd be in this situation and say this to the enemy villain, or in a snarky comeback, or a power move, or whatever. And shit like that. I don't know how to... I think I've explained it enough. But basically, I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. And one of my goals is to become a film director. And if not that, then a screenwriter and concept artist. Maybe storyboarding if possible, but who knows? And so, well, I'm still looking for a valid work of any kind, really. But until then, I am focusing on drafting out as many ideas that I can, so that when I do get the opportunity to pitch it to a really big client or whatever, then I can be fully prepared with all the artwork, storyline setups, etc., and not have to worry about it then, versus now when I already have all the free time and not anything better to do anyway. I guess a reason why I really liked films and movies growing up was because when I was younger, I was basically seen as different, and so I was isolated from the rest of my peers because I have Asperger's syndrome. And I also, well, have just, you know, no one ever taught me how to socialize with kids my own age. That's not a thing adults usually remember to do. So, you know, the difference between a kid who might have had a parent that's like, come on, say hi to your friend, say hi, Jacob, nice to meet you, why don't you go play on the swings over there, or something, versus someone who's like, alright kid, you're at a playground, and you haven't been around any other kids your age at all. Ah, shit. Just go. Fuck it, kid. Do whatever. Then, you know, one kid's gonna have great social skills and the other one's gonna only learn how to socialize when she's... Okay, to this day I'm not a perfectionist at it. I went to a party, I think like 2 weeks ago, and that did not go well because, once again, no one ever teaches you how to socialize. But you know how they teach people? You know, when you don't have like the family or friends to connect with, get along with, learn things from, etc. Oh, a TV. Most people in the modern day and age tend to have those. So, you know, if you're one of those kids who grew up as a loner or whatever, or just simply, you know, you're like, oh god, how do I impress people? You'd watch TV. And then you realize, oh, all these people dress really nice. When they greet each other, they say, hey, what's up? Or they give each other daps or high fives or whatever. That was a fist bump. Why'd I say that? Anyway, clearly I don't have that shit down to the perfect of notches. I know enough to get my foot in the door, not enough to continue. So, you know, I can say hi to someone, but then from then on, it's a fucking shitstorm. Anyway, I'm gonna sit this somewhere. Oh my god. Whatever, I guess I'll just awkwardly stack things until it eventually... Okay, that works. So, you know, I don't know if anyone out there has the exact same feeling, but maybe you grew up in a household where you felt unsafe. But, you know, when you were isolated or bullied or whatever, you at least knew that you could come home after a long week and just Saturday morning watch some cartoons and take yourself out from reality for a bit and just be like, I want to have some good times. People also do that with books, people also do that with social media, anything, because it's like, if you can find a way to escape your reality, if it's not a great one, then that's the reason why. And also it's a great way to learn things, because, you know, I've met people who basically they had lots of negative mindsets instilled in them from their friends and family or relationships, and then, they never knew shit about it, but then they could, you know, go online and look up, hey, this is my situation, is this normal? And someone would be like, oh, fuck no, it's not normal to have a partner that does this to you, or hey, your family should treat you this way, not that way. Like, people, it just, I don't know, imagine a world where, like, I don't know, or raised by narcissists did not exist. People would still be out here saying, oh, who cares if you were beaten as a kid and had your privacy stripped from you? That happened to me too. I'm fine. And then they cry themselves to sleep at night or kill themselves. And that's not very nice. So, oh, I guess that's also why I like oversharing on the internet, because I never know when someone's gonna view my channel and be like, holy shit, I relate to this girl and a lot in her life. So maybe I'm that person for you. Also, sorry for the dark ass environment. We just got a lamp. This place is extremely dark. How about I move it? Alright, I guess I'll just sit here. Hey, Iggy. And that's my cat. I'm allergic to cats. They got cats without my permission. So I guess a reason I thought, why not make a YouTube channel, is because I thought that's a good start. Very good start. So that at any point I can go, hey, I want to communicate with people. Really? In front of the frame? Okay. The nerve. What was I saying? I forgot what I was... Okay, I'll just say this. I know that there are a lot of vulnerable people out there who don't have means of escape, so, maybe they're just locked inside all day, Rapunzel style, with no form of communication to the outside world. Their family never lets them out the house. You aren't allowed to do this, or not to do that. Maybe you're from a conservative family, or maybe your family's homophobic, or this or that, and you need an escape. And since, not everyone has people that they know of around them to open up and be vulnerable with, but you know what they do have? Anonymous social media where you can talk about your life, and eventually people will go, huh, that's cool, and then relate to you about that, or maybe even befriend you long enough till they tell you their real identity and you can connect. And then since not everyone is allowed to have a phone, or you might get it taken away, then if these people can't reach out to me, like, if someone can't DM me like, hey, I like your shit, because they don't have a phone, what's the next best way? I could become a filmmaker, and I can make movies with messages in them, and then not only can they have access to those movies on, like, Netflix or cable TV or something, but then maybe their families could watch it too. Like, I don't know, if you're someone who is a homophobe, but then, one day your sibling comes up like, oh, hey man, I saw this movie named Moonlight, you want to go check it out? Or hey, let's check out Love, Simon. And then they watch it, and then they're like, huh. And so then, they'll watch it and they could go, huh, interesting movie, or they'll be eased into the idea of it. Or, then gay films are starting to be on the rise recently, because that's a really big thing. Or, people who, how do I put this? People watch documentaries for a reason. They also watch vlogs for the reason. Vlogs mainly because, oh, I know this person, I want to know their personal life. And then people want to watch documentaries because they can inform them on a side of life you've never known. Like, for example, I would have known nothing about mob life or Jeffrey Dahmer if not for true crime documentaries. And I'd probably not know shit about the ocean unless someone actually came on Netflix and went, hey, here's a fucking 2-hour-long documentary about jellyfish, and I had nothing else to do, so I was like, fuck it. I'm bored and I have nothing else to do, let's open my perspective on fucking fucking jelly. Sorry, I'm pissed. Why is my phone? I'm resting it on a fucking corner. Anyway. This video is going terribly. But all seriousness, I feel like also through the power of film you can make very powerful messages. Get Out was one of those, and I'm not saying it's the most powerful, but it did it in a smart way. It's like, hey, let's talk about racism and all these topics related to it, while also talking about, the harms of, like, mixing racism and science to the point where someone will believe that actively enough to body snatch black people. Spoiler alert, but that movie's been out for like a fucking year. You could have watched it. Anyway. Or it could have been, how do I put it? Big ass forehead. Sorry, the huge ass light for my cranium is probably distracting me and you. But, you know, it was also humorous, so it didn't have to be like a serious movie topic like When They See Us or Queen and Slim, where someone would go, oh, fuck no, we see enough movies of black people dying and struggling, we don't want to see more. It would be like, oh, hey, this one's actually a comedy and a horror, and it's funny. And so, of course, if someone's gonna go in like lighthearted, they'll feel more receptive. Just like, you know, and then, you know, you can ease into these types of conversations. Like, it could be a smartly done movie with comedy, or it can be a really dark topic but still have amusement to it, or relatability, or something like that. But all in all, I guess the reason I like to vlog is because I want to hope that people can draw from my life experiences, and that there are people out there who'd like to relate to me and who actually can, and that I can grow as a person, and you see and you go, huh, months ago she was out here on some wild shit, and now here she is healthy as fuck, so maybe I could get the same for me. Or something like that. Or, how do I put it? Same for movies. Since, you know, I have so much to say, but what if it's something that I don't want to say with just a Samsung Galaxy 8 or 7 or whatever this shit is in the middle of a dark living room? What if I have a real message I want to share? And so it's like, oh, great alternative. What's a good way to share it? Oh, I could screenwrite, storyboard on those two big ass bulletin boards I have behind that chair. I could draft a film with really good dialogue that, like, explains people's point of view. Because, I mean, you know, there'd be a huge difference in me telling you about the story of my abuse versus making a story about an abused character where you get to see it from her perspective and it's acted out, visuals are done, things like that. And also, I just feel like I have a lot to say, and if I don't want to personally say it myself, then I can still say it. Just, I guess, through, I don't want to say the puppet, but like in a ventriloquist way using film. So, you know, I could just as easily say, so, you know, I could say, oh, gentrification is horrible, or colorism is bad, or you should treat people with disabilities with respect. And you'll go, okay. And you'll probably go, fuck that crazy bitch, and then still go about your day. But if it's like, oh, hey, look at this interesting, like, hour-long film with, like, Leonardo DiCaprio, and he plays a disabled man trying to get rights so that he can find entrance to buildings that he can't have access to because they all have, I don't know, those shitty ledges that you can't move a wheelchair up. Or, oh, what about this movie with, like, A-list actors on BET and they talk about colorism and this and that. Versus, and also, oh, let's make a movie where this obviously cute young girl character is getting harassed because her skin color is darker than the others. Or, you know, there are ways that you can drive a point home, and narrative is the best way because there's really no fucking limits. And I don't like feeling limited in the way that I can have people relate or communicate to me. I want it all to be out there. And just in a nutshell, I don't get it when people say that not everyone's gonna understand you. Because no. I know that talking into a camera for 13 minutes in a dimly lit room about all the points I want to make is boring as fuck. And most of you probably didn't even get this far into the video because I've been rambling. But imagine if I told this in a completely different way, with visuals, sound effects, A-list stars like Cameron Diaz and Kerry Washington and shit like that, to just really drive the point home. Just, if I'm gonna keep doing what I do, I want it to be big. I could make a vlog that is 18 minutes long and get 2 views on it, or I can make a huge fucking media franchise or film company and have all the same messages spread out to millions of people with millions of investors and make tons of money and then redistribute the money any way I please. And that's what I really want to do. I also have several aspects for specifically why I prefer filmmaking, but, you know, it's also just a matter of me not liking acting in other people's movies and also kind of disliking acting in general, but mainly in other people's movies. So yeah, that's all I had to say. So thanks for listening if you gotten this far, and peace out. Love you. Peace out.